So before I hand over the meeting to him, it's my honor to introduce him to all of you. PDG Andrea Suharto was born in Jakarta. After spending the first few years of his primary education in Jakarta, he continued the remaining primary education in Singapore until completing of his secondary education. Thereafter, he continued to study in English to complete his college and tertiary education. He holds the bachelor degree of computing science from the University of Essex, England, followed with a postgraduate diploma in accounting finance from the London School of Economics, LSE. He is a business in the following area: digital system integrator as a SAP, pronounced as Alphabet SAP, integrated business system solution provider, authorized Toyota sales and service center, importer and sales and reconditions luxuries passengers cars, export of timber products for the furniture industry. He has taken up permanent residence of city of Kuching, which is located in Sarawak, the richest of the 13th state in Malaysia of the island of Borneo. He lived in Kuching since 1985 while maintaining his international citizenship. He is a chartered member of Rotary Club Kuching Central since 1986. He was the club president in 1995-96, and therefore he has very active and district level at the district level. He was the first person who appointed district trainer as soon as RI allowed such position to be held of non-PDGs. He was elected as District 3310's governor for the Rotary year 2014-15. When Gary Huang was the RI president, he was also the first foreign person to be elected district governor in District 3310, with spans across three countries, namely Brunei, Singapore, and part of Malaysia. Upon completing of his tenure as district governor, he continued to be active in the district and zone level. He was selected as RI Assembly Training Leader in 2020 and 2021 to the Trans-District Governor-elects in USA. He is currently Rotary Regional Public Image Coordinator for Region 12, covering Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, and Myanmar. For 2020 to 2022. He was the Governor's Nominee Training Seminar Team Leader for Zone 1B, 9, and 10, which was concluded on 16 November 2020. It's the first virtual institute that we have ever since in our history of I think, considered in the institute or in our region. So I would like to now officially hand over today's trainings to PDG Andrea. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Datin Shirin, for that kind introduction. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all Rotarians of District 3282. And I must thank PDG Dr. Ani Zuzaman for the invitation for me to actually share with you about the action plan. What I'm going to do this evening is to spend maybe the next 30 to 40 minutes to talk about the action plan, how it all started, what it is, and what does it mean to clubs and district in order that you can actually follow this action plan, and why do we need to have this action plan. All right. So let me take you back in 2015 when Rotary International conducted a survey that involved 1 million people across 15 countries. And they asked the respondent what would motivate them to join a service organization. And so the responses were actually categorized into 4. A lot of them says that they wanted to join an organization that has got a purpose, an opportunity for community service to be provided to them. They also would like to have an organization that actually have causes that are important to them. And obviously, they also said that they wanted to actually join an organization where the organization has an established reputation with strong heritage. And Last but not least, they said that they wanted to join an organization where they have programs that makes a difference locally. So these are the four categories of results drawn from that particular survey. Now, that survey also told us that as far as our global awareness is concerned, is very outstanding. 3 out of 4 people surveyed were aware of Rotary, and we are, in fact, if you can see from the chart, the top three in terms of awareness. Now, however, only 35% of them says that Rotary is an organization for them. Why? Well, because most had only a vague idea of exactly how we do good in the world. A lot of them didn't know exactly what what good we do, but they know that it is an organization where the people are doing good in the world. And surprisingly, only 25% of them know somebody who are actually a Rotarian. So what happened is that the RI Strategic Planning Committee used the results of the surveys and recommended to the board of the directors to establish a vision statement. And I think a lot of you may have seen this vision statement that says that together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Now, when we say where people unite, that vision statement says that where people unite means not necessarily Rotarian, but anyone that are united and get connected with Rotary itself. This vision statement was approved by the Board of Directors of Rotary International and the Board of Trustees in June 2017. And what happened next? Well, with that vision statement, and considering that Rotarians are people of action, we need strategies to actually achieve that vision. And the board has defined the duration of time as 5 years for us to be able to actually achieve that vision. So what is these strategies? Well, the strategies is actually comprising of strategic priorities and objectives that actually is referenced or known as the action plan. Again, this was actually approved by the board of directors and the board of trustees in June 2018. So if I can just recap with the vision statement and the people of action, how to get there, we need strategies, and the strategies are basically the strategic priorities and the objectives, which I will go to in detail in a few moments. And therefore, that strategies is referred to as the action plan. And it will hopefully will take us 5 years to reach that vision. So in a nutshell, the timeline is that you can see on the 20th in the year 2015, that was when the survey was done. And in 2017, that was when the vision statement was born. And in June 2018, the board decided to have this action plan as strategic priorities and objectives. And starting from 2019 July until 2020 of June, that is when we start the implementation of the action plan. Now, what is this action plan in terms of strategic priorities? Basically, there are 4 of them. And what are they? One is increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance participant engagement, and increase our ability to adapt. As I mentioned earlier on, this action plan is being rolled out throughout the 2019-2020 Rotary year. And I will explain to you in more greater details later on these 4 priorities. Having said that, if clubs and districts are able to align their strategic plans with the Rotary's action plan, then the chances is that we are all moving towards the same vision. So that is the challenge, and that's the reason why it is important for clubs and district to adopt this Rotary's action plan in all their planning. So how do we actually adopt this Rotary's action plan? From priority, how do we turn it into action for implementation? All right, let's have a look at action plan number 1, which is increase our impact. Now we know that Rotarians are effective problem solvers that create lasting change. And uh, we basically are investing in relationship. This change that we make lasting change that we make is actually because we invest in relationship, which is actually known as building social capital. And with this relationship, we actually got connected with a wide, diverse group of people of various background with skills. And we have shown that what we can do when we draw on our collective strengths, we can do wonders. And you all know that in the case of the end polio, we created solutions customized for the people and evaluated the results to learn from our successes and our setbacks. So you also know by now that the sixth area of focus is actually our legacy and the model we use to pursue our goals in the Rotary Foundation for clubs to actually tap the global grants. And it's been proven successful. And in fact, by 1st July next year, there'll be an additional concern for the environment that will become the seventh area of focus. So how do we know if a project is impactful or not? Because remember, the first priority is increase our impact. So how do we know that a project is impactful? First, I think we need to do community needs assessment, because without that, it is very difficult to say that your project is impactful. Because with the statistic that you get before and after project implementation, you will be able to actually draw a conclusion how effective is this project and how impactful the project is to the community. These statistics are very important because with data, data provides us with proof and facts. And with real data, we can tell compelling stories with confidence before and after. All right. Say, for instance, you are doing literacy program in a community. So before you actually engage or implement the project, you perhaps need to measure how many people are illiterate or not able to read or write. And after they have gone through this program, through the project that your club has done, how many of them can actually read or write? That is the output. But what is the impact? The impact is the fact that now there are more people who are able to read and write in the community. As a result of that, more of them perhaps are getting employed. And with this employment increase in the community has got more income, and therefore it has raised up their livelihood and living standards. So that's the kind of impact we are looking at. And we can use statistics to make improvement for project implementation, because we'll be able to know where we need to fine tune so that the next time we do a similar project, we can actually avoid the pitfalls. Now, this needs assessment is very, very important, and is very key in the first action plan, because without needs assessment, you do not have data to compare before and after the implementation. And so it should be carried out. Although needs assessment is a requirement when you apply for global grant, but I am of the opinion that every project that is to be adopted by a club should ideally be carried out with needs assessment as a first step of activity. Because you all will agree with me that we have limited resources in terms of funds to implement a project. So you want to make sure that with the limited amount of money that you have, you are able to actually implement a project that gives you the biggest impact. And how are you going to know that this project is impactful? Because you have data to actually support it, because you have done needs assessment. You have actually have good engagement with the community members. So together, let's prove that our impact on the world has just begun. So let's move on to the action plan priority number 2, which is expand our reach. So what do we mean when we say expand our reach? Just now we have impactful projects, we carry out needs assessment, and we know that that project is impactful because it's producing good results with minimum amount of funding. Now, how can we expand our reach? Now, let me bring back on the core values of Rotary. I'm not too sure whether you are aware. I'm sure some of you are aware that the core value of Rotaries, there are 5 of them: fellowship, integrity, diversity, service, and leadership. These are the core values of Rotary. And it is our responsibility to share these core values with new audiences. When I said new audiences, I'm referring to people who have never been connected with Rotary. It does not necessarily mean that we are recruiting new members per se, but we need to have more engagement with new people who have never get connected with Rotary through these core values. And if we as Rotarian internalize these core values, then our action will actually show them and be attractive to people who have never been connected to us. And therefore, we must use new models to bring people together to experience the power of Rotary. So, how do we do that? We can inspire them by taking action to actually share with them good storytelling. And that's the reason why Rotary International has emphasized the importance of storytelling, because only with storytelling you will be able to inspire people who are not aware about the good that we do. And we need to create new channels, because you know what? Rotary can be a prime mover in creating unique opportunities and connections to increase appeal and openness so more people and organizations can join. And when I refer to the word join, it does not necessarily mean having them as a member. So it doesn't matter whether they become a member or not. For at the end of the day, you actually provide a platform and an opportunity for them to be engaged with Rotary and get to understand the flavor of getting involved in Rotary activity. So the key consideration is create a club that's more open and flexible. For instance, in District 3282, you currently have about 10% of your total membership of 4,000 plus members are women. Now, worldwide, the measurement is that 20% of the total membership worldwide is women. So, if you want to catch up with the worldwide trend, therefore you need another 10% to catch up. So that's something that uh, maybe the district can have a look, or the clubs in the district can have a look in terms of expansion into new areas. We need to have a club with diverse voices in leadership that will help to stay in touch with the changing world, so that you can actually have uh, fresh opportunities to create more path to leadership and open up conversation with new diverse group. And the other consideration is to practice diversity, equity, and inclusivity, so that you have underrepresented groups that can actually be connected to your club and be involved in the Rotary activities, either as a member eventually, or they continue to be connected as a volunteer, right? Now, I have actually drawn up this by saying that if you want to expand your reach, perhaps we need to actually look at a club that is forward looking, that can give this kind of membership to Rotarians, whereby in this particular example, I'm showing you the club actually provides 6 different categories of membership, from family, affiliate, associate, ordinary, which most of you are actually ordinary member, corporate, or young professional. Now, family members, you can make it in such a way that, the father or the mother can become a member of your club, right? Plus one alternate member who is maybe the son or the daughter. And uh, let me just go through the associate member. As an example, your club carries out cataract project as your signature project. And to do this project, you need ophthalmologists, eye specialists to do the operation. But the ophthalmologist is so busy that he doesn't have time to join as a full-time member of your club. You can perhaps offer him an associate membership, where he actually participate as volunteers with very reduced membership fees, and he doesn't need to attend a regular club meeting, but be involved in the cataract project operations that is organized by your club. And who knows, eventually, when this eye specialist progresses in his or her career will be able to have more time and join your club eventually as an ordinary member. Now, the other aspect is the affiliate membership. Affiliate membership is perhaps to cater for people who are not able to attend all the club meeting and events, but they can be seen to be a valuable asset to the club. Again, with different or reduced dues as an example. The other one is corporate members that cater for business leaders and employees in the organization. My club has a corporate member, and we charge at a much higher fee in terms of entrance and subscriptions. And we allow the corporate member to actually have two-person to be nominated. One is the primary, the other one is the alternate member. So that when the primary member is not able to attend the meeting, the alternate member can actually sit in to attend the weekly meeting. And then we have the young professional that cater for young people, including Rotaractors maybe who wanted to join your club as a Rotarian, where you offer reduced club fees and flexible participation. So this is just some example of a club offering 6 different kind of membership. Now let's move into setting up different type of clubs. So we can have satellite club, you can have cost-based club, we have passport club, corporate, alumni, and road track. Now, cost-based passport, corporate, and alumni are similar, like uh, in terms of requirement, whereby you need to have 20 members to set it up and run by a club president, and you will receive charter certificate from RI. But with satellite club, you don't. This because the satellite club is a subset of the parent club, and you need to have 8 minimum members and run by chairman, no charter certificate, and your membership register is actually reflected in the parent club. So therefore, the dues may differ, may be cheaper than the parent club in terms of location of and day and time of the meeting may also differ. So the idea with this is that, as an example, if you want to set up a full-fledged Rotary club, a conventional Rotary club, you need 20 members. But sometimes it takes time to collect or to wait for 20 members before you set up a new club. So this give you the risk whereby those who are interested or have shown interest, not able to wait for you to reach minimum of 20 members, decided to go away because their motivation and enthusiasm already cold because they waited too long for you to set up a club. So what can you do? Set up the satellite club, let it run, and piggyback with the parent club in doing projects. And eventually, when they have more than 8 members, they can actually opt, assuming that they have already reached 20 members, they can opt to break away from the parent club and set up a full-fledged conventional Rotary club or a passport club or an alumni or cost-based club. So the idea is that you don't straight away set up a new club with 20 members because every time when we set up a new club, the first year you will encounter a lot of turnover of members because either they found that what their expectation were not met and they left, or because they found that they cannot get along with some other fellow members in the new club, so they decided to leave. So the attrition rate during the first year of a new club is actually very high. By having a satellite club like this, you actually provide a time frame for the membership to grow to a minimum of 20, and once it's stabilized you can actually break up and set up a new club. Now cost-based club are actually club excuse me excuse me cost-based club are actually are for members that are passionate about a particular cause and focus their service efforts in that particular area. As an example, maybe in the area of autism or dyslexia. So their focus is just based on that, right? To help people whose children actually suffer from autism or dyslexic, right? Passport Club is actually where members can attend meetings of other Rotary Club as long as in a year they attend a specified number of meeting of their own club. So therefore, it is now how many times do they have to attend your club meeting? It is up to you to define. So Rotary is now very open. You dictate what is suitable for your environment and your locality. Now, corporate club is a club whose members or most of them work for the same employer. So which means that if you have a very big multinational corporation, so you can have the Rotary Club of this multinational corporation, and the members are basically the employees. All right. Alumni, as I think you all know, these are basically those former Rotary or TRF program participants, right? And where they get together and they can continue their fellowship with those members. And Rotrack. Rotrack is another membership type in Rotary. As you know, in the 2019 Council on Legislation, this has been endorsed. So now, as far as Rotary International is concerned, you have two kinds of membership. One is Rotarians, the other one is Rotaractors. All right? Now, having said that, how are we going to actually expand our reach to these new audiences if we do not actually focus on our public image? So we need to attract these audiences. Number one, we need to make sure, first of all, we need to have consistent district and club logo. And where do we go to get resources for this? You need to go to the Rotary Brand Center, where in that Rotary Brand Center, you will be able to actually make use of a logo template to make your Rotary logo like this. So this logo, either this district logo or a club logo, is not designed manually. There is a template in the brand center. All you have to do is just enter the district number or the club name, and this image is automatically produced, and you can download them in either JPEG or a PNG file format or in PDF file format. So that's the reason why, at the glance, I will be able to see whether a logo is generated by the brand center logo template or generated manually. Now, it has got to be consistent. Why? So that members of the audience do not get confused. Imagine if you have Coca Cola with different fonts of the word Coca Cola. You will get very confused because you may probably say that, oh, this particular bottle of Coca Cola, I think is fake, right? Now, the other important is that we encourage you to take lots and lots of photos of your activities. We call that people of action images. Again, these photos, you can upload them into the brand center and you can actually produce people of action photos with the verbs, either connect, empower, right? And polio with the word written in the center, right? But again, these impactful photos need to be taken from impactful activities. So if you do not have impactful projects, then where are you going to get the photos from? So remember, as people of action, your photos must reflect to the new audiences that you are actually people of action. So if you are actually just posting photos, giving checks, or handing over face masks or uh, PPEs, maybe, that is not reflecting as people of action. People of action means you are actually on the ground, helping the people in the community to help address their needs. So this is very important. Group photograph, handing over of checks, handing over of items, posting to the camera, those can be taken for internal consumption. But for members of the public, if possible, you avoid that because you need to actually give the kind of image to the members of the public that we are actually people of action. We need to walk the talk. Next is If we are going to be um, aggressively attracting new audiences, then we must have regular newsworthy stories to produce. And by having a good relationship with the media company and regular news releases from the impactful project, we can then actually produce good stories to be published by the local media. These are the three things that we need to do as a minimum. And when I talk about people of action images and photos, minimum 2% in the photo, maximum 5. This is the guideline given by Rotary Public Image, Visual Voice and Visual Identity Guideline, and People of Action Guideline. Okay, minimum 2%, maximum 5. Why maximum 5? Because if you have too many people in the photograph, it is very difficult for the audience to focus when they look at the photo. Right? So the emphasis is not there. And you look at this particular photo that I just taken from one of the clubs in 3282, right? So it only comprises of 3 people with one recipient of that polio drop. So the focus is actually on that little child and that lady who is actually putting in the polio drops. All right. So why do people join and why do people stay in Rotary? You can see from here that those in yellow, right? Why do people join Rotary? Because they want to join an organization that provide local service. 15% of them say that. And then they also wanted it because it provides a platform for them to be able to be involved in global services and for personal growth, 12%, and connect with other people and having some fellowship. But then when after they join, right, you ask them, why do people stay in Rotary? So the local service component actually is down 12%. Global service is down to 5%. Personal growth is 7% instead of 12%. Connect with others increased by 1%. And fellowship or friendship increased by 2%. So very interesting to see these differences, right? And this was actually conducted by Rotary International. So with that, together, let's build connections and opportunities that will allow people who share our drive to do the same. Remember, when we expand our reach, we do not necessarily mean getting people to join Rotary as a member. It does not matter. As long as we provide the platform for people, audiences, new audiences to be connected with Rotary and Rotarians so that they can have a feel of the flavor of this kind of organization with Rotarians who are actually people of action. And hopefully, they will eventually one day join us as a Rotarian. So, action plan number 3 is enhanced participant engagement. So, what do we mean by this? We try to enhance the engagement of anyone connected to Rotary by delivering our values. And I've mentioned just now, right? What are our core values? Our core values are in this 5 component: fellowship, integrity, diversity, service, and leadership. So if we can internalize this and practice it, then it is very possible that we can actually draw people to be more engaged with us and have more satisfaction. But how do we know that members are actually have more satisfaction with us than before? Well, the best thing is to do a Rotary Club health check, do a survey so that we can understand what the members want and their level of satisfaction of their engagement. We get feedback from them, get them to suggest so that they feel that their input to the survey is being valued, that we recognize them, that they are important. So we take the result and determine the action plan on how we can actually engage or improve their engagement. Another part is, as you know, Rotary has this learning center. And in this learning center, there are many, many learning modules available for you as Rotarians. These learning modules, if you are not a Rotarian, you can access it and you probably have to pay. And there are heaps of online learning courses in there that are not related to Rotary per se. Many things. As an example, how to conduct online meeting, how to do needs assessment, how to do project management, and how to improve leadership. Now, this has got nothing to do with Rotary, and it is a skill that you can actually use for your vocation. So we need to encourage Rotarians to tap on the curriculum in the Learning Center because it is there for us as Rotarians and it is free. So this is a value that we can actually create and encourage members by accessing this online learning center. So the other part is open up opportunities for members to contribute their vocational expertise. Remember, Rotarians membership at one point in time were based on their classifications of vocation. Although today, Rotary will say it's up to you to decide what is best for your club. But I think if members were given the opportunity to contribute based on their vocational expertise, this will make them feel valuable because they are actually feeling that they are contributing to the cause, to the good cause in the community. So together, let's recommit to putting the needs and expectation and growth of our participants at the center of everything that we do. That brings me to the last action plan, which is actually increase our ability to adapt. Now, this picture that you see, if I were to take you from left to right in the time zone, all right? From left to right, the weather condition is so harsh, but these greeneries and the tree adapted so well that eventually they survive. That is from going from left to right. But if I were to take you and said, okay, let's start from the right going to the left. We started off where the land was so fertile and the vegetation was so green. And then the weather, because of climate change, has changed the whole environment. But the vegetation could not adapt to that sudden changes. And eventually they die. And therefore, this is what we are going to talk about on increase our ability to adapt. So with that, what I would like to do is I would like to launch a poll to find out from all of you, will our ability to adapt determines the existence or survival of Rotary? Yes or no? Can you just perhaps click on your screen or use your mouse to answer whether yes or no? Will our ability to adapt determines the existence or survival of Rotary? Is it yes or no? So far, I have 5 out of 34 participants answering. It is increasing. I'm going to give a few more seconds. We have past international president Gary Huang. Nice to have you here with us, sir. You are muted, sir.
Thank you, my best class governor.
Thank you.
Hi.
I was honored to be the governor during his year when he was a president. All right, let me end this poll. I count from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I end the poll and I will actually share with you the results. 14 of you says that yes, the answer is that our ability to adapt determines the existence or survival of Rotary. Okay, so that is something very, very important. So now let me perhaps look into the next slide. Let's have a look at what it means by the word adapt. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, it says that adapt means change or to suit different condition or users to change your ideas or behavior to make them suitable or change slightly over time so it can continue to exist in a particular environment. All right. So that is what it means by adapt. So is Rotary going to survive for another century? Now, you remember Charles Darwin said that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent that survive. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change that is going to survive. So, therefore, Rotary's survival for the next century will depend on how adaptable are the Rotarians. So let me launch another poll to ask you, has Rotary International made changes to its operations and program offering the past 115 years? Let me launch this poll. Okay, please cast your vote. Has Rotary International made changes to its operation and programs offering the past 115 years? Has Rotary changed since the day when you joined Rotary until today, right? I suppose if you just joined for the past 1 year, not much changes, but for those of you who have been in Rotary for many, many years, you may probably have a different answer. Okay, we have 43% of the participants have answered. We have 53% now. I'm going to give you a few more seconds before I close it. All right, we have 53% of you. Let me end the poll now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 56% of you. Let me share the results. Well, 17 of you says yes. Majority of you says yes, that Rotary has made changes the past 115 years. All right. So interesting, right? And that's probably the reason why Rotary has actually survived for that long. Now, the next poll is, please indicate which of the following changes in Rotary made great positive impact on you. Which of the changes actually made positive impact on you? Let me know. Is it the My Rotary, whereby you access your personal profile in My Rotary, you change your address, your contact number by doing self-service, or you create the profile of your club, the target and the goal setting of your club in My Rotary? Some of you say, oh, new club flexibility options. Yeah. Introduction of GNTS or Rotary Learning Center? Or is it the 3-year appointment of the district membership chair, TRF chair, and international service? Or is it road track as a membership type? Or is it the non-PDG now can be a district trainer? This has been a decision that was taken quite a number of years back, where a district trainer used to be only for past district governor. Okay, we have 10 of you. We have 36%. Okay, I'm going to end it in a minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, let me share the results. Looks like the number one positive impact on you is My Rotary. I'm not surprising. Huh? This is quite common across all the many talks that I have. My Rotary seems to be the number one positive impact on many Rotarians. And number 2 is the new club flexibility options. And number 3, the Rotary Learning Center. And number 4 is the road track as a membership type. So these are the positive impact of changes in Rotary on you. All right. Thank you for your participation. So you can see that Rotary has adapted by making incremental changes over the years. A lot of changes. Today, well, we used to have the club president's manual, the district governor's manual, all actually sent by courier. Today, everything is available online. You download it in PDF and you print it locally in your home, and you can bring it around on your computer and read it while you are on traveling, right? 25 years ago, it was not able to be done like that. And we are adapting to the new norm because of this pandemic. And you know what? This pandemic actually has made us move faster in making changes and adaptation to the current situation. And that has proven how adaptable Rotarians are given the pandemic situation. So, my second last poll is to actually ask you, let me just launch this question, right? Select only one of the following changes that gave the most challenges to embrace. Which of these actually gave you the most challenges to embrace? Which of these changes gave you the most challenges? And you find difficulty in adapting, that's what it means, right? Because the change is so big that it takes sometimes for you to get used to it. New way of doing things. 16% of you have responded, 23%, 26%, 43%, 46%, 50%. I'm going to stop in a moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let me share with you the results. So, wow, just now the previous uh, survey asked you which of the changes made positive impact on you, and number one was my Rotary. And now the question is, which of these changes gave you the most challenges? And the answer is again, my Rotary. So my Rotary is proven to be the number one challenges to many. And the answer that we have over here is similar to other districts. Okay. And number two is the Rotary Learning Center together with the non-PDG, which can be a district trainer. Okay, let me stop the screen share. Now, recently we have conducted the GETS, which is the Governor-elect Training Seminar, and the Governor Nominee Training Seminar, as well as the DGE Partners Program at the Zones 1B, 9, and 10. And it is the first time that we are conducting this online, virtual. And guess what? This was done over a period of 1 month, from uh, 12th of October until 11th of November, several times a week. And guess what? Everybody adapted so well. Although we have not met each other physically, but virtually, everyone seems to have adapted and settled and accepted these virtual meetings for the training. So the last poll that I want to ask you is, how do you ensure that district and club will stay relevant to the changing time? How? How do we make sure that your club and your district will stay relevant to the changing time? Please cast your answer. Is it by organizing Rotary Leadership Institute, or adopt strategic plans aligned with Rotary's action plan, or carry out club health check survey, or others? Because if we were to be adaptable, you have mentioned just now that we need to be adaptable in order for us to survive another 115 years. And to do that, we need to stay relevant to the changing times. So how do we make sure that our club and district stay relevant to the changing time? 31% of you have responded, 37, 40%, 43%, Okay, I'm going to end it in a minute. Five, four, three, two, one. Well, the answer is actually all are okay, but the most appropriate answer is item number two. Clubs are encouraged to actually establish strategic plans aligned with the Rotary's action plan so that at the club level and the district level and the zone level and with the corporate organization of Rotary International, we are all moving along the same direction in achieving our vision in the next 5 years. Right? Thank you for your participation. So, some tips on how to increase our ability to adapt. As an example, I'm putting over here is build a culture of research, innovation, and willingness to take risks. Consider, as an example, adding training modules for your pets, such as public speaking. Incorporate that into your pets, public speaking, because the president-elect need to make lots and lots of speeches. Grooming, how the way the president, the club president should be dressing up, because he is the spokesperson and the icon of Rotary. Table ethic, as a president, he or she will be actually having a lot of time and instances whereby events are actually organized by very important person, ministers, and so forth, government officials, and therefore having the proper table etiquette is very important, because if you have a bad table etiquette for dinner or during meals, that will reflect very badly on Rotary. And who can conduct this? Well, look out for Rotarians who are actually in this business and give them the opportunity to contribute their vocation by conducting these courses for the Rotarians in your district. Conduct an online survey to gauge the technology needs of Rotarians before implementing virtual activities. So if your club is going to be having virtual club meeting, have a session or conduct a survey, online survey, to gauge the level of familiarity in using technology by your club members. Or another example is create a Google Drive to store selected public images and the photos, the good photos that your club has actually captured, and put them into a repository in the Google Drive where members can actually access. So this is one example to increase our ability to adapt. Number two, review your club roles and processes and tasks and look for ways to be more efficient, because we are always constantly innovating and making sure that we are always making improvement, especially with the concern for environment as the seventh area of focus. We need to make sure that we consume less paper. So whether it's by reducing, combining, or eliminating responsibilities or using different technology. As an example, maybe it's time for clubs in your district to make use of online banking if you have not done so. How about converting the club health check form, the booklet that I show you just now, making it online, or making time to make adjustment on the current processes, other processes? Is it time to review them, as an example? Next is review governance to foster more diverse perspective in decision making. Get as many people in your club to make decisions. Don't allow only confined to a number of people, a small number of people in the club to make decisions. Setting up a policy, as an example, for procurement, whereby if you want to do projects that involve acquisition of materials and services, set up a different committee to handle the procurement of the product and services for transparency purposes and governance. Review your club constitution to incorporate conflict of interest policy, code of ethics from the Rotary Code of Policies. These are available in the Rotary Code of Policies. Incorporate that into your club constitution. If you can include this and you practice them, this will increase the image of Rotary among people, especially those donors who are non-Rotarians, because they know that every cent or dollar that they contribute to your project, you have this conflict of interest policy, you have the code of ethics that you want to make sure that the money that you receive from the donors are being made to full good use. The next example, the last example, is establish a continuity plan where you encourage club presidents, governors, and other officers work with incoming leaders chosen for the next few years. As an example, right, current deputy district chair or current deputy club chair for training, right, must be chosen or rather become the chair in the following year. So this means that the PE should actually appoint a district trainer during his or her year when he was or she was a president nominee, so that the year when he or she becomes a PE, the club trainer, or even for that matter, club treasurer, or maybe district, or maybe the club public image chair, becomes a deputy chair at the club level. So that when the president takes office, that deputy chair becomes a chair for that respective committee. So when you do that, include your immediate past president, your current president, and all future president, the PE and president nominee in the strategic planning committee so that we can actually achieve continuity, because our inability to increase our adaptability may negate our existence in the community. As you have already said it just now, that we need to be adaptable in order for Rotary to be in existence for the next 115 years. So together, let's stay true to ourselves and stay ahead of change in our next 115 years. And with that, I conclude my talk on the Rotary's action plan. Thank you very much. Um, Tatin Shirin? Tatin Shirin? Tatin Shirin? PDG Anis, are you there? Are they supposed to be?
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
I'm done. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Thank you very much, PDG Andrea. Today we learned a lot about the action plan. In fact, I'm also learning, and thank you very much for sharing the new change about the action plan and also the 4 priorities. Now I would like to open to the floor if there was any question.
Shirin, why the sound, your sound is very less? Can it be
Very
increased
less.
a little bit?
Maybe I'm using a speaker, I think. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me better?
Maybe you put the microphone nearer to your mouth. The
Okay, go ahead.
microphone.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any question on the floor?
Do I make it more confusing?
No, usually, since there's no question, I have some question, PGG Andrea.
Can I
Oh,
ask
sorry.
some question?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, of course, PGG Zaino.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Andrew.
Yes.
My first question is, now in the training program, because you are connected with the international trainers group, so my first question is, in the training program, there is no specific training on the action plan. And action plan is the main activities of the Rotary movement right now, because it is focusing the vision of statement. And the vision statement has changed from the beginning to now, considering the changing world. That's true.
Yes.
Previously, we used to say only services provided by the Rotarians. Now we say no, along with the people. That means it is not only the Rotarians, but also all the stakeholders. They will participate in that.
Correct.
But there is no, right now, the priority is to understand the importance of action plan in line with the strategic plan, in line with the vision statement. And for that, there should be some sort of a workshop, as you have conducted it very successfully with the examples and all these things. I greatly appreciate that. Now, the program of training right now they have introduced is Vibrant Club Workshop. And they say that it replaces the 3 seminar of foundation, public image, and membership. But to me, they need not see that. They need not say that. They should say that the planning of the Vibrant Club workshop, as the program topic is there, should be aligned with the action plan, as you have described today. It should be like that. Otherwise, there is a confusion, because I am working as a district trainer of this district. So this is creating a little bit of confusion when we give responsibility to the people who are associated with the foundation. They speak because it is to cover all the priorities. There's somewhere something is added to every, whether it is a foundation, whether it is membership, whether it is public image. So I think that program related to action plan should be properly formulated, like as you have given, and it should be a part of our regular training program. This is my idea. So through you, I put this one to the Rotary International.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Um, you are correct. There is no specific module on the action plan per se. And I think the Learning and Development Unit in Rotary International are busy preparing a lot of new training modules that will be made available at the Learning Center. Now, I do not have the information as to when the action plan module will be available, but if I were to take back on the Vibrant Club seminar workshop that you just mentioned,
Yep.
if you look at the topics in that Vibrant Club seminar workshop, they are actually broken up into based on the 4 priorities.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right. So that's how the way they did that. Now, you remember many years back, we used to have the Public Image Rotary Foundation and as well as the uh, Rotary Foundation Public Image and Membership on one weekend, but on separate days with different topics being done on their own.
That's
And
true.
and then what happened is that it then progresses whereby they did it in one day, but again the topics are not connected with one another, right?
Exactly.
So now
Exactly.
with the Vibrant Club workshop, what they did was the topics are no longer separated into membership, TRF, or public image, but they are all integrated. The reason is because we need to have big project that is impactful, and to do that we actually prefer to get global grant projects, because global grant projects are for big projects. Hopefully they have big impacts and it created newsworthy stories for public image to be able to capitalize on that and publicize the success stories so that we can then get people to be interested with us either as a member or to be connected as volunteers or sponsors for the projects. So this is how the way Rotary is actually looking at it
Yes,
at the
true,
moment.
true. What I suggest in the Vibrant Club workshop, they say in their literature that it replaces the 3 seminar, like the foundation work, membership and the public image.
Correct.
That confuses.
Okay. The reason is
That
because
confuses.
the reason why they say that was because if you look at the first priority of the action plan, increase our impact, that actually is very much aligned to Rotary Foundation.
It is very related to the Rotary Foundation.
Correct.
That I understand.
Yes.
The second one very aligned with the public image. That I understand. The
Yeah.
next two is with the membership. That I understand.
Correct.
But
Yes.
there are many other factors which can be covered with the other one.
Which
Correct. Say another thing is also impact is also contribution is there, but no mention of the contribution to the Rotary Foundation is there in the Vibrant workshop.
Oh yes, correct. Yes.
So these are the. I talked to the people, the Megan in the learning center. He also said, "Oh, we are revising it.
Yeah.
Because you say I joined Rotary 43 years back. Initially, all the planning was effective planning.
Yeah.
Effective planning guide.
Correct.
That was based on the avenue of service.
Yes, I remember that.
So from there, say standing committee, that is also changed. Why? To continuity and development of the administration. So someone must understand the sequence of changes and why these changes came. These changes came because of the requirement of the time.
Yep.
Thank you. Your presentation was excellent, Andrew. You are great, man. You are great.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I took a lot of time.
No, not at all. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, PDG.
Okay,
I know.
Shireen, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for your question.
No. Yeah. In fact, usually I was about to ask the same question, because I realized that, ever since we have this Rotary Actions Plan and the 4 priorities that, we try to emphasize on, I realized that a lot of clubs are still usually not very understanding that, what is that all about, especially talking about the vibrant stamina. Like now, currently in 3281, usually we have runs a few vibrant club, but it's not under the district, it's under the clubs is running it. So as what PDGs I know have just spoken just now, I think maybe the Rotary should give a clearer pictures that, like it should enforce maybe in the Rotary, like during the governance training, the governance elects training in RI, maybe they should usually told them that, okay, instead of just talking to them, they should usually just maybe like make all Rotarians understand that why we need to have this Rotary action plan, the 4 priorities. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, as far as I know, what I have just received updates from them is that the next batch of district governor-elect, all their training topics in the breakout session are actually centered around the action plan.
That should be.
People of action,
Yeah.
action plan, increase our impact, expand our reach, and very centric in that topic actually.
Yeah.
Andrew,
Yes.
Andrew, one thing is very simple to make them understand. The action plan is what? Action plan is the strategic plan. The strategic plan is what? Strategic plan is for focusing the vision statement. And that action plan is what? With the priorities.
Yes.
And the people who will carry it out, they are the people of action. This is very simple, but we talk to this in such a twisted way, people get confused.
You are not the only one who actually commented this. I have received a lot of feedback from Rotarians who said that, when they read at the materials at the first glance, they say it was very abstract, difficult to understand.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. Shireen, would you like to invite past international president?
Yeah, correct.
Mary?
Yeah. If there's no any question,
Oops.
can I kindly invite our past RI President Gary Huang? There's also my president, and also is your president. Yeah, can we have you, sir, to give? Hello. Yeah. 听到吗, Gary? 听到吗?
Yeah, 听到. Okay. Well, fellow Rotarians, 你好.
How?
And thank you for inviting me to participate on this very important seminar. I want to congratulate all the president-elect and all the district officers-elect. I think you've been chosen to be the president, or governor have chosen you to be his or her team because of your past service in your club or in district. So I hope that you will continue your good service similar to the past, especially during this very difficult period of time. And in fact, you do not need that many or much training, but we take this opportunity to unite together, to learn and to hear from each other and find something good and useful for your future position and leadership. As very close friend to District 3282 and to Bangladesh, that I already joined quite a few of your online seminar or meeting. But today, I just went to Taichung, central part of the Taiwan, one of the Rotary Club, Taichung Yushan Rotary Club Chapter, with more than 30 members. And I just rushed back from few other celebration party in Taipei. So I don't want to say much. As we come to the end of this year and mark the beginning of a new one together, I want to express once again my appreciation for all that you have done to make 2019-20 a success. I know this year has not been easy. None of us at the beginning of this Rotary year that we will be facing the challenges of the current global pandemic and widespread social and economic turmoil. But the Rotary Foundation has endured challenges like this before. And with your leadership, we adapted quickly to meet these challenges, helping Rotarians provide assistance to those in need and protect their communities. As Rotarians, we see the problems in the world. Then we take courageous steps to solve them. Even problems that many of us have never lived through before, like a global pandemic. We took action for the cause of public health long before COVID appeared. And because of our experience, we are making a difference today. Here in District 3282 or 3281, you use a disaster response grant to purchase hand sanitizer, masks, and personal protective equipment for those affected by COVID-19 in Bangladesh. And your clubs are providing protective equipment to frontline health workers. You are keeping the people in your communities connected and engaged. I know that the Rotary Foundation changed lives because I have seen it with my own eyes. And it's Rotary leaders like you who make it all possible for volunteering, leading, and giving. So it is a tribute to your service and dedication that in these difficult times, we have achieved our comprehensive fundraising goal of 400 million US dollars and reached more than 408.6 million last year. And this is the highest donations in the history of the Rotary Foundation, and which will help Rotarians do more humanitarian service in the future. Tomorrow's world will be a better place because Rotary exceeds today. Because of you, because of your gift, and because of your involvement and the inspiration you bring. So please continue to take action, and we will overcome COVID-19 together. And in the process, making Rotary and its foundation stronger. We are people of action, people who create lasting change, equipped by the resource of the foundation. We are able to make a difference in thousands of communities throughout the world. So please accept my best wishes. And I thank you once again for your commitment and support of the Rotary Foundation. My wife, Karina, and I look forward to seeing all of you during June 12 to 16 at the 2021 Rotary Convention in Taipei. I hope. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, past RI President and past RI Trustee Chair, Gary, for attending. I know that today you and our RI Director Surgeon are both in that event, and we are very honored to have you, to come to this seminar. Especially, I think it means a lot for PDG Andre because his own president is here, and I'm also very happy because you are also my president. So thank you so much for
you.
joining us. Yeah, thank you. So I think if there's no any others thing or any question, I think we can end the meeting. Yeah, but PDG Andrea,
Yes.
is there a question? Yeah.
No, there is no question so far.
Oh, there's a okay.
Yeah.
PDG Andrea, can I just ask you another one question? That's all, just
Sure.
a quick one. I just want to know, due to the club flexibility that usually the RA have mentioned, so that the club usually they have the chance to usually do their own club bylaws, right? Do you think it's right that for a club to keep a member for like 4 or 5 years not attending a club meeting, then is do the club still be able to keep this kind of Rotarian that is like they are just paying the dues, like I find out that sometimes some clubs to keep the membership, they have people who are just staying there but they are not active, but they are just paying dues. What do you think about this scenario, like kind of thing? What advice can you give like to the club?
Well, Rotary International has actually made it so flexible that it is up to each individual club to determine its rules and regulations. So if the club has a constitution that allows members for not attending weekly meeting at all, right? But instead maybe at least being present in events or projects, if that is the constitution and bylaws allows that, then there is nothing that you can do. So it all depends on the bylaws of the club and the constitutions.
Okay,
But yeah,
but
of course,
but
if you're looking
but
at
what happened yeah
if you're
but
looking
what
at the
happened if
go
okay,
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead,
Yeah,
go ahead.
but what happened? It says that the Rotary itself, like just paying a dues, but not attending any of the club meeting nor any projects for a few years of row. Do you think that is should we keep this kind of member?
Well, at the end of the day, if the member who is just keep on paying the subscription but not being not turning up at a club meeting or any of the club project, and if that member is happy doing that, that's all that matters.
Okay. All right. I got your answer.
and
Yeah.
and provided that the club constitution allows that.
Okay. That means the club usually have their own constitution to usually allow that.
Correct.
Okay. Before we finish, I'd like to acknowledge also our PDG Awal is very supportive. I just saw him. He was here. Can we have a few words from PDG Awal, please? Yeah. He was usually
Oh yeah,
have a
PDG Muhammad
stroke.
Awal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I saw him just
Mama.
now.
Yeah. Mama. Mama, you want
I,
to on? You
he
want
is
to
muted.
unmute yourself? Is he muted?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's muted. You got to unmute yourself, PDG.
Yeah.
We
Mama,
can't hear
can you
you.
unmute yourself, Mama?
We can't hear you.
Uh, Mama, you have to unmute yourself. I think maybe. I think
He's
Mama,
disconnected.
can you hear me?
Oh, he's. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, PDG.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah.
PDG Awal.
Okay. Okay. I saw also PDG. Okay, Mama. Maybe we wait for Mama. Clarice, can you maybe mute him? Yeah. Just kindly mute everyone. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Can
PDG Muhammad
can I?
Awal.
Yeah. I think maybe he can't hear.
Yes.
Okay, can I invite PDG Dr. Mil Anis Uzamans to give a few words? Yeah. PDG, can you unmute yourself, please? Yeah.
Thank you, Shireen. I appreciate and this is the wonderful speech and presentations, and also our past district governor, Janal Abidin, also the questions and answer. Really, I learned a lot of things. I thank you again, everybody. This is the vibrant, I think, workshop now today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. Okay. Awal Mama, can you hear me? Awal Mama? I think he can't. I
You
think
can't
maybe
hear.
he can't hear. Yeah, it's okay. So I think thank
I
you
think
very.
it's not the good positions to talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All
There's
right.
some
Yeah.
sick.
Okay. Yeah, we know I think everybody know that PDG Awal recently got a stroke. So I think that
Oh,
for that, yeah, he got a stroke about a few months back, but he's on recovery now. He have some problem with the speech now. Yeah,
okay.
that's all. Yeah. So anyway, I would like to thank again all the Rotarians, presidents, and the secretary, and also presidents elects, and also all the district training leaders, and also some of the Rotarians who joined from District 3281 also to be here.
Gary also is here. All
Yes, he's here. I think
stay
he's still
already left
here.
also.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's still here. Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, still here.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I would like to thank also our district secretary, Jubair, for helping us to organize and to help us to invite them, the participants today. And also, I think just now, DG Bilal usually came in during the speech of, during the PDG Andrea was giving your presentation, but I think he was engaged on the other part, so he have left. So anyway, thank you again, all the Rotarians for joining us tonight. And don't forget, tomorrow we have our Rotary Club's Central goal setting. Yeah, one of the reasons why we call for today's seminar was like, we are hoping to get at least all the clubs to usually understand that it's important to follow the change of Rotary, that goal setting is very important to see how healthy a club is and also how active a club is. So for doing the goal setting, usually indirectly, we are talking about the present for the president citation, because once you achieve all the goals means that you'll get the president citation. And I think it's very important for every president to got a citation to be proud of. Uh, for instance, for myself, very sad that, you know, I couldn't get a citation, not because I was not active club, but it's like it was a very beginning of the My Rotary, and we cannot submit through usually the fax like previously, you know, using the hard copy. So when the soft copy thing came in, the My Rotary came, and my secretary and myself are also not very good in that. So we are not able to usually do the reporting. But then from there on, I will have to make sure that all my president, my incoming president, that all my president will get their citation. So that's why I think it's very important for all Rotarians to understand that, you know, we have to set our own, like, we have to usually report ourselves to have our own, at least our My Rotary account, number one. And then number two is very important that all the president and secretary should usually update themselves in My Rotary Club Central about their activities. There's one way of promoting themselves also and their club, because when you go to the Club Central, usually you can share all the activities of your club with the whole world, as far as they can usually go for like they can usually understand that if they click the name of the club, they can see your project. So there's opportunity usually to expand yourself to another district to do projects together, and you also easily can tell people that your club is active and you're ready for a project. So tomorrow we will have the group separated into some uh, uh, the participants will be separated in the different groups so that the trainer will be easier to teach them, because all these computer things sometimes can be very complicated. So thank you very much again, everyone, for giving me the floor today as a MC. And I would like to thanks again PDG Andrea for such a wonderful presentation and very informative, and we really learned a lot. Thank you very much. And not forgetting all our also Rotarians from Malaysia who are joining us, especially the Rotary Club of Kuching Central. And also lastly, I would like to thank our past president, Clarence Yongs. He was the most supportive Rotarian who always help me up during my Zoom meeting when I get very clumsy with the new technology. So thank you very much. So yeah, with no further any discussion, I will end today's seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank
And
you.
thank you
Yeah,
for the
good night.
invitation once
Yeah,
again. Right.
thank you. Thank you,
Bye
PDG Andrea.
bye.
See you.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye. Bye bye.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.